Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. This is AI for Founders. I am the zombie lifter, Ryan, and I am joined with Fernie, Fernanda. How are you, Fernanda?
I'm great. Thank you for the introduction.
Of course, we're going to do something a little bit different today, and I'm excited about it. What I want to do is vibe coding. And we've been talking a lot about vibe coding. There's a lot of a buzz about vibe coding, and there's a lot of really practical applications, but I'm mostly interested in just fun applications. So I thought we'd try one of these platforms today. You down for that?
I am. Let's find out. I'm curious about what we're gonna build. So let's figure it out.
Cool. So this is going to be largely, we're going to do a screen share here. So for Spotify and YouTube folks, you can follow along. Otherwise, hopefully this isn't too boring to listen to if it's just audio only, but we are recording the video. So I've tried tools Bolt and Lovable. I ended up kind of committing to Lovable because I like the UI better, but I realized I haven't tried all of them out there. So the tool I want to check out today is Replit. And this is very similar, replit.com, to Bolt and Lovable, where it's basically, prompt chats to code building. So I thought we'd just kind of start with a project and see what comes up. So from this page, it's giving us from the homepage just a couple of options here, just kind of what you want to create. We could do a website for my dream business, a habit tracker to reach my goals, an educational app for my kids, or we could figure out something else. Now Fernanda, let's build a tool that's going to be helpful for you.
Okay, let's think about what could be helpful. Like something to organize. Like I love organizing myself, but I do need something to be able to track my activities and giving them a space and time so I can perform each one of them.
Okay, cool. So something to organize your time. Is there
Exactly.
anything? Okay, let's start with that. So a time organizer, would it be like a calendar app? How would the interface be? Like, what would you ideally like to, like, if you open the app, what are you going to hit? What kind of button?
I'm not sure, but it definitely has to look something like a calendar and something like super user friendly, something with colors, very simple layout. Because I do get confused when lots of stuff pop off. So I need something very simple.
Something very simple. Okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense. And that's kind of the beauty of AI too, is that like really you just wanted to like do the majority of the thinking. And honestly, while we're doing that, I'm just going to use GPT to give us some ideas. So I'm going to pull this up. Let me see here. This is going to hold
So
here.
we're
So it's,
going full AI today.
yeah, this is the one place that I've been a little bit scared of like using AI, which is an actual idea creation. But I think I'm getting over that. I don't want to get lazy AI brain where it's like I don't have ideas anymore. But I realize in the creative process, I like to be a sculptor. I would rather start with a big block of ideas and just pull off the bad ideas and be able to expand upon that. So I think that's one of the best things that AI can give us is like, okay, give us 50 ideas. I'm gonna whittle that down to a dozen and we'll kind of keep iterating. So I'm going to ask GPT, we want to vibe code an app for organizing your life. What are some good ideas? I'm kind of a hunt and pecker, so it takes me a while to type this out. Here we go. Oh man, it's getting some slang. It says, "Yo, love this idea. Vibe coding an app to organize life is peak founder energy."
You know what? I need these apps to have some it needs to remind me about taking my break. Because sometimes I get so focused when I'm working that
Ooh,
I forget to do everything else. Like to get lunch. Like I do then remember to get lunch because I get hungry. But there are times when I'm too focused on my task that I just forget everything else that's going around. So we need
that sounds
to add
cool.
you.
I like that. I like that. So it's like something that's maybe can help you um, uh, schedule breaks, lunch, recreation during the workday, and maybe offer like things that you can do to step away from the desk.
Exactly. That sounds so interesting.
Let me see. Okay, I'm going to put this in GPT. We're thinking an app that encourages taking breaks and offers things to do to step away from the desk. Let's see what it says with this. Oh my God. I don't know why my GPT is getting so sassy all of a sudden. It's like, yes, now we're cooking. That's real wellness tech right there.
But and it knows like we're recording for AI for founders, so it goes like, yeah, I'm gonna give it all.
Totally. Okay, this is hilarious. It says concept, name idea, unplug, tagline, step away, tune in, recharge. Core vibe, a beautiful calming app that gently reminds you to take breaks and gives you options, quick curated micro activities to reset your body, mind, and energy. Core features, smart break nudges, subtle reminders based on work patterns, device use. Choose your vibe, chill, energize, move, get outside, reset. 2, break packs, curated packs of short activities, 2 to 15 minutes for different needs. A breath pack, stretch pack, vibe pack, nature pack, digital detox pack. The break roulette, don't know what you need? Spin the wheel and get a surprise activity. This is great.
Sounds interesting.
Okay, this has got a whole bunch of stuff in here. So maybe what we do is maybe we try all 4 of these features and see if Replit can handle that right off the bat. Now, when I've worked with Bolt or Lovable, it'll get a little bit overwhelmed. So it's like it takes a minute. So let's see if I can what it does here. Discuss. Boom. We're gonna give it extra, and we'll get giving it emojis, and we'll just hit start building. So now, Fernanda, you're a coder. That's coding for you.
I tried for a bit. I tried for a bit to like to start programming. It wasn't for me, but I did try.
I do a little, but it's much like my Spanish. I get frustrated with my limitations, and it makes me rage quit. Okay, so this just spit out an app plan. It said, build the initial prototype. Would you like any of these additional features? We can also make changes later. Add user accounts and personalized break recommendations, implement progressive notifications based on focus time, create community-controlled break activities, add delayed detailed analytics. Oh, detailed analytics would be good. Let's put that one in. So timeline, the visual preview is 2 minutes, and first app vision is less than 10 minutes. So let's just let it rip. Okay. So now our Replit app is going, and it's writing the code. Let's see if we can get to a visual preview. That'll be cool. Now, I know one thing you can do too. There's a couple of tools that you can actually use for the UI, but I think also it takes visual cues. So if there was like an app that pops up and we wanted it to look like another app, which is probably a good way to go, it'll just kind of basically parrot the design of the app itself. So we're starting to get, okay. Good afternoon, Alex. And then the other reason I kind of went with Lovable, and we'll see this, is like Bolt was great, but once you start pushing buttons, it would break. And, so Lovable is a little bit more, but we'll see how kind of like the responsiveness of Replit is as we're doing this. Okay, so
so far it's looking great.
Yeah, looks pretty cool. It says choose your vibe. And then it's got the break packs. It's giving us the breathe pack, 2 to 5 minutes. Oh, wow. And it's giving us techniques too. It's recommending box breathing. Are you familiar with box breathing?
Is it the one that you like inhale and then keep the air and then exhale and stay without air? Like all four actions with
Oh,
the same timing? Yeah,
yeah,
right. And
yeah,
the
that's a great one.
478, I actually love it for when I can sleep and I have like a little bit of insomnia. I go with that one and it's very helpful.
Describe that one. What's the 478?
You inhale in 4 seconds, then keep the air in for 7. Yeah, you inhale in 4, keep the air in for 7, and then exhale in 8 seconds. And just like, I don't know, like be like thinking about the numbers and being so focused in your breathing, it relaxes you so much. And it's really
Yeah.
helpful. Like if any of you guys have trouble sleeping at any time, the 478 is an amazing thingy. I think actually like the military used to implement it or something like that.
Yeah, that was before they like knew how to treat PTSD. They're like, poor soldiers are like suffering. They're like, have you tried 478?
Yeah.
I
And
bet
then
you it's actually pretty darn effective too. Yeah. Okay. So it's almost done here, the preview. And I think the preview looks really nice. I mean, this is like you'd expect, to like punch or like basically touch or click on the buttons where it's white. And so it'll go dark once you click it. It has the stretch pack, which is offering us neck, shoulders release, wrist, hand mobility, lower back flow. It's got a nature pack that says spot 3 bird sounds. Feel the sun on your face. Find and touch a tree. It's great. Bird.
I think we might be up to something here.
This looks pretty good.
It
It's
does.
got it's got the break roulette, which is giving us kind of a random break suggestion. So this one says you can spin to win. It says walk around the block with no phone, smile at someone, eat a piece of fruit slowly. Or it's got a streak monitor. I don't think we asked it for that. And then it has reset reflections. So it's still building it. But boy, this seems pretty good right away, right?
It does.
Yeah. The really fun thing too is when this is done, is this little deploy button here. So you can just hit it and it creates the website. It creates the app, you know? So I know the other platforms are already beginning to do like integrations with Stripe. So then you could charge for it, you know? Um, which is just to say, build a subscription plan. So, you get through coding your app on the platform and then you just say, add my Stripe account. Boom. Now you have a way to like go monetize the app immediately. But, for me, like if you're vibe coding something, it seems like a better use case to use it as like kind of like a free kind of product, just like something fun and something to like kind of validate and test ideas within your community. Like today, we were talking about kind of this ACP protocol, which is like you find the audience, you build a community, and then you build a product. So if you're kind of validating and test validating your products, this is a great way to spin something up to see if it'll stick, you know, because ultimately, like getting somebody to come back to your app is the hard part.
Yeah, and it makes it so easy. Like I never thought building an app would be as easy as like going to ChatGPT, telling it what you need, and then just take the input here and have everything figured out.
It's kind of amazing. Let's go back to GPT and see what it was recommending. Okay. So we've got the break packs. It's got the streaks and stories. Okay, we did ask for that. The bonus vibe ideas is an AI break buddy, a little avatar that gives you kind, sometimes funny suggestions. Dude, time to get some sunlight. You're starting to look like a cave goblin. Okay. I don't know if we need those insults. I mean, that's kind of messed up.
That a bit, but maybe some people need that encouragement. I'm not sure.
Totally. There's a proof of brake mode. So snap a picture of your brake to build your brake wall, like a visual diary of wellness. That's kind of cool.
That sounds nice. Yeah.
And then it's got mood forecasting. So it tracks your post-brake moods to learn what types of brake give you the most lift. It's giving us a prompt for a visual aesthetic, soft gradients, round corners, subtle animations, calming sound effects like leaves rustling or a bell chime. And then like Calm and Duolingo had a minimalist wellness baby. Cool. Now, one thing I've also seen is that these LLMs are very well trained on all the biggest apps, so you can really actually kind of parrot somebody's UI, because it already knows it. Now, the other side of that is if there's an app that's out there that's not as well known, you can just drop either a screenshot or the URL into there for a reference, because I think a lot of the more kind of cutting edge type apps are more design forward. Otherwise, I think we've kind of gotten used to like a pretty clean and clinical, UI, generally speaking, which is actually great. And what the one they gave us out of the box is pretty wild. Okay, so right now it is creating the client, building the pages. So when it comes back, what we'll do, and maybe what we'll see is see if we can add some notes while it's thinking, if it'll let us do that. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here. We want to do bonus vibe ideas. Okay, and we'll be nice to it. We'll say, when you are done working, do not take a break. Do this. When you're done working, can you add these features? Okay, the agent is wrapping up current step and it'll respond shortly. Great. That's amazing. So the other thing that I really like about this is it's almost like it, when I've developed software and worked with teams, you have a design team and you have the back end, front end, back end, and you're kind of toggling between them. But usually it's the design side that goes first, and then you kind of conform the software on the backside to the design. And of course, there's an exchange there. But usually it's two separate departments or two separate people or two separate teams. And so there's like this, project management. Now you've already got three people. You got me, a designer, you got a developer, and we're all trying to work this thing out. What I love about the vibe coding is it's all together, and it's just like it's giving you visual representation of what the software does right away, So you don't lose like a generation of information trying to communicate through everybody. Now you also lose that kind of expertise, and but I mean, just for a prototyping stage, for an MVP stage, this is like fantastic. Okay, it installed the dependencies. Now it's going on to the second part. Okay, so the break packs were breathe, stretch, and nature. Let's see if GPT gave us anything else. They had breathe, stretch, nature. There's another one that it recommended called the vibe pack. So you play a song and one mindful action. So you can dance, sway, or draw circles. And then the digital detox pack would be turn your phone off, leave it behind, and go wander for 10 minutes. That's a tough one.
That sounds interesting. I think a lot of people would love this app.
Yeah. When was the last time you went without your phone?
Well, I like on the weekends, I try to not use it as much. So probably last weekend. but
Really?
the rest of the time I have like my phone with me all of the time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it happens to you, but like working from home and staring at a screen the whole time, now I don't feel like either going to the movies or watching a movie at my place. Like when I get off my work, the one thing that I don't want anymore is more screens. So on the weekends, I really
Yeah,
try to not use my phone and actually like go out and be a human and be in nature and stuff.
that's great. I could use this app. My phone is kind of a net negative. Like it's kind of a turn off to me naturally, but like I love my desk. I made my office too amazing. I just want to be in here all the time. You know,
It sounds
you,
like a very dangerous combination. Like you get
I know,
stuck in there the whole day.
I know. Well, that's the thing is it's like I put the TV in here just so it would look cool behind me on calls and stuff. But, I just got the MLB package, so now I'm watching baseball games and playing Xbox with my son.
It's the full
You
man
know?
cave there.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's full man cave action now. Okay, we broke it. It said to implement the AI Break Buddy feature, we'll need an open AI API to generate personalized, sometimes humorous break suggestions. Okay, so it's asking for an open AI account, which is fine, but we don't want to do that right now. So you say, can you work around the API integration for now? It does look like some of the UI stuff did change a little bit. I mean, maybe it's still working on it, but we lost a little bit of the color. One thing I've seen on these too is like you always feel like you're one prompt away from it being perfect, but sometimes the prompts make it worse and it's hard to go back. And I don't know if you've experienced this with GPT, but like let's say you're trying to make like a graphic, so last night I was working on a graphic for that workshop today. And I went through all these different iterations, but the problem is if if you don't get it like 99% of the way there with the first prompt, then it starts iterating off the prompt that you made. You know what I mean? So so you have to like go install a second chat. You just go make a whole nother chat and then start with a fresh prompt. That way it's iterating from first principle as opposed to from like taking a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. So this it doesn't really that I've seen from Lovable and Bolt, and this one doesn't seem like you can kind of start over from the top. So we'll have to see how that goes. So it says the agent encountered an error. Okay. Let's hit try
You
again.
broke it.
That's kind of like an interesting thing too, is that, if it doesn't work, you can oftentimes just hit the button to fix it. It said I'm just going to hit try again, see if you can fix it again. And then you can also just, you know, you can also ask these things like, what would you do? What's a prompt I could give you to give me the right outcome? And that can help as well. So right now it's just reviewing the message and kind of going through it. Maybe while it's thinking about this, I can get your ideas on how for my graphic. I got really self-conscious making graphics yesterday for the workshop because it's like any art, you put it out there and you're like, dude, is this saying what I want it to say? Like, what is this?
Right.
Okay, so this is not working. Try again. Okay, we're just gonna do Can you just scrape the Break Buddy feature? And I would say as far as like speed goes, this is probably a little bit slower than I'm used to with Lovable while it's doing this. Let's see. I'm going to go back and see if I can review. Yeah, I guess I can't. Bummer. I was going to share
Told
with
you
you
broke it.
Yeah, it is broken. So maybe we're just stuck here. I'll hit try again one more time, and then we'll try deploy and see what it gives us. All right. All right, let's see. We're giving it one more chance here. But I mean, even we're 26 minutes in. We probably had the idea in 60 seconds, and we're able to get at least like a visual prototype in what, 2 minutes? Okay. So yeah,
Yeah, I think the
it,
first 5 minutes were the ones that we saw like the most outcome of it.
yeah. If I hit a button, okay, it starts to break if you hit the button. Let's hit deploy and see what happens. Okay. Deploy. Okay, so here it's wanting us to basically buy a subscription to deploy. And it's usage-based pricing, build at, my gosh, 32 millions per compute unit, plus a fixed cost of $1 per month per deployment. Okay. That seemed like it could get expensive quickly. The reserve VM ensures high uptime, minimizing disruptions. Okay. So it's giving you different opportunities. A static HTML. So yeah. So basically, if we wanted to deploy it, then we would have to pay for a subscription, but we're not. But I'm feeling pretty good about this. This looks pretty good. What if I wanted to hit outside? What would happen? Spot 3 bird sounds. So it gives you kind of these applications. Let's do another quick one. Let's create a. Okay, so that was it. And honestly, that's probably why it was breaking, is we just pushed it too hard because we gave it what? Probably a dozen prompts that it did for free, and now it's wanting us to upgrade. So
Yeah, I think that's it.
that's it. So I don't know. I think Replit's pretty cool. I think I like Lovable a little bit better. I'll probably keep using it, but like, what's your impression? Kind of vibe coding the first time.
It's fun and it's very interesting. I didn't know about these applications that you could create so much stuff with. So I might give it a try. Who knows? Maybe I'll create something very interesting.
I think you will. So, all right.
It would definitely have to do with something about cooking.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's so much around food. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking too. I was working on a kind of a food app because if you think about like what's going to be sticky in somebody's life, like what's going to make them want to return to using it and using it and using it, you have to kind of tap into their lizard brain a little bit of like, what is something that gives humans like joy and they have to do? It's like food, for sure. So apps around food, I think are a brilliant place to go because, our brain is going to remind us food if you're me every 10 minutes, you know?
Right. And like we all eat, like probably we don't all want an app to get some rest because probably like most people remembers to go out and have a break once in a while, but we all eat like at least 2 or 3 times a day. So I think that's something that could be like super useful.
Yeah. Nice. Well, this was fun, Fernanda.
It was.
I tell you, we should do this consistently. Find a cool tool and just give it a whirl. I think for me, just going into some tool totally blind and seeing if I can make it work is a great test for a good tool. And with Replit, although I've had a little bit of experience doing some of this in the past, super easy to use and really promising with what we got it to do for free in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right, Fernanda, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I'm gonna get to work on some food app, and I'm gonna get back to you. So like I will let you know what I can create.
All right, we'll battle
Now I'm
with
curious.
tools. Send me the first one.
We will. Absolutely.
Cool. Thanks, Fernanda.
All right.
So let's talk about podcasts for a second. You're listening to one, which is awesome, by the way. Thank you so much. But have you ever thought about being a guest on a podcast? Like seriously, imagine sharing your story and your expertise and your business all on shows where your ideal customers are already listening. Kitcaster connects founders and entrepreneurs, professionals, with podcasts that actually make sense for their brand. No pitching, no guessing, you just have great conversations on great shows. And the best part, Kitcaster handles everything. You just show up and bring your A game, Kitcaster does the rest. This is hands down one of the easiest ways to grow your personal brand and just create a wellspring of content for short video, for blog posts, for speaking engagements, for whatever. So if you've been thinking, yeah, I really need to step up my content game, go to kitcaster.com and apply today. Now back to the show.